Hi there, and welcome to another interview. Today I've got somebody I met through coaching, wonderful David, and I'm going to ask David the same question I ask absolutely everyone. Hey, David, why did you become carnivore?
I became carnivore because I had some health issues exactly a year ago to the day. Today is 30th, I believe, December. And so anyway, I went to the bathroom one day and I was urinating and there was blood coming out of the urethra. And I was scared spitless. I was on vacation out of country. And I thought, oh no. But I thought for a moment and I said, I feel fine. I'm healthy. I'm strong. What's going on here? It can't be anything too serious, maybe. But the bleeding threw me for a big loop. So I had contacted somebody. They told me that David, that I trust about these type of things I share with. Before I met even you. And anyway, the point is, he told me that I need to get off the oxalate crystal food, the high oxalate crystal food. I said, I've never heard of that. What is a oxalate crystal? So he sent me an image through texting and all that. And it was a vivid image from Google of, spinach, some fruit like strawberries, walnut, chocolate, things I love, and so I started studying that, broccoli, etc. And so I cut out vegetables and fruit immediately. And after 2 days of that, 2 days following, no bleeding. Bleeding had stopped. So that was significant in my mind that something's not right here. And the vegetables I ate, what was it? And sweet potatoes is on the list. I love sweet potatoes, and I like to cook them up as JoJo's in the oven. I miss those, but I'm not touching those because that's not good for me when it comes to oxalate crystal formation. I want to avoid that. Then I happen to read, I order online once in a while from a company called Blanker Beef. Grass-fed beef. A business writes a weekly letter to his customers. And I do. I enjoy his commentaries about coincidence. Was talking about, I'm told to get off the oxalate crystal, especially the high oxalate crystal food. No more chocolate. My mother's side of the family, farmers. I grew up on the farm basically with them, especially in the summer months, vacation. That's where I got in shape for sports and made money. I loved the environment, didn't mind the hard work. They had beef. They raised cattle. They had their own steers. They have them butchered. They had chickens, they had eggs, they had cream, they milk a cow, raw milk. It was beautiful. And the butter was there. And I grew up in that environment, and they never had an issue with heart issues from meat, the eggs, the butter, cream, homemade ice cream once in a while. I just loved it. So I felt comfortable transitioning immediately to carnivore, all meat. And I did. And 2 days later, like I saw, the crystals are spiky. Remind me of these military mines that have spiky points all over them. And as I visualize it in my mind. But anyway, the crystals are kind of like that too. And those spiky points scratched my urethra and my penis and caused the bleeding. It was not good. And but 2 days eating all meat, gone. The bleeding stopped. It has not come back. I went to a doctor specialist for this. They wanted to go down through my private and search and go down to the bladder area, see what's up, because there was a mass they saw, and they could see a mass in there. But I felt fine and healthy through all the procedure, but I'll never want to go for that procedure again. By the way, it was very, very painful. It was not comfortable. It took me about 8 days to recover. A lot of inflammation from that. When they went down and searched, they found no mass. So I had urinated out probably dried blood from the crystals, and it flushed it out. No, nothing in there clean. I said, must have been oxalate crystals from the foods. And the doctor said, well, you'll be back probably about 3 months. I've had other patients tell me that too. They start bleeding around 3 months, come back in. It's been 2 years, not a problem. And so I'm really happy with the carnivore diet. It's improved so many things in my life. More energy, just like Dr. Kevin Stock was talking about. Sleep is way better. I don't sleep any longer at work. My hours for sleep, I fight for every hour I can get because of my work day, etc. But I have more energy. I sleep deeper. I haven't slept like this. Like I couldn't remember how long. And I was much more rested. And I teach, and I need that, especially with children, middle school age, grades 6, 7, 8, 11 through 14 years of age. You got to be on your toes quite a bit. And because by nature, they like to, there's a lot of movement and things, activities going on. So I do burn a lot of calories doing that all day. But anyway, a lot of pluses. I had arthritis or something right here in this area of my hand. It's gone. I had left side of my hip banding at the stand-up table at my computer, laptop, doing that too long. I don't have those issues. Once in a while, maybe just a little because I'm leaning on that side, but I got to correct or just move a little bit. I've been there for 45 minutes and I need to move physically. So it's been a blessing. There's a lot of other little things I've noticed too. So I don't get sick as much. It's rare. My family tells me, and I have others tell me, you don't look like you're 70. You don't look 70 at all. My sisters are telling me I'm from a large family, David, it must be your diet. Your diet's doing a lot of things. So the skin is looking good. I don't put ointment stuff on my face, skin like that. So I see a lot of pluses with this diet. And then dental. I've always had a history of dental issues. No mas. It's gone. I follow Dr. Kevin Stock again on that. Being a dentist, he does put that information online. He's got and on Facebook, etc. But how he sees that our mouths have changed over time due to the excess amount of junk food and the foods we eat, etc. But if people eat carnivore like myself, these issues stop. And I go on every time. There's not been a problem. X-rays on the teeth, everything's fine. I'm seeing a lot of pluses with this. And I think longevity too. And I've also, along with this, I've been told by somebody I trust a lot, but he's been incorrect. You can't gain muscle at our age, Dave. And so, but I have. And I can verify that visually. I'm sure it's fit tighter and pants do too, of course. I got hips for the first time in many years, and I used to have strong hips when I played sports, but that went away with, just lifestyle and all that. But I'm using bands. X3 system is very good. It's been a blessing for me. 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day for about 5 days a week workouts. It's been tremendous. So I've packed on muscles. I can see it in my biceps. I can see it elsewhere too. And I feel stronger from that. And I'm getting stronger and I'm increasing. I'm moving up with the X3 system, moving up with bigger bands, etc., because I'm creating more stamina and strength. And it's amazing. So I'm actually seeing growth that I haven't in a long time. And I know my posture's better from this. So I just can't say enough of the diet. It provides me the energy and strength. And yes, I'm gaining muscle. And I think carnivore has a lot to do with it because protein is there. It's a viable nutrient for muscle growth and keeping us strong and growing with muscle at my age. Now, I'm not like I'm 20 years old or 30, but I am putting on muscle. No doubt about it. Yeah, I can see that. So I can't say enough about making the change. It took care of the crystal issues. I had a kidney stone 6 months following when in 2022, August, following the change, switch over from the SAD diet or the vegetables and all that and fruit. And by the way, I was eating kind of clean anyway. It was not eating much sugar. I was eating the usual, basically, but I need more tea in my diet, I think. And that's been beneficial. I'd be lost without carnivore. Let's put it that way. And luckily, people have stepped up. I've run into just a plethora of people that are carnivore, helpful, sending with information that is required. Just working right here with Stephen Thomas and some others. It's been amazing revelation to me that medical world, FDA, the general doctor, they don't have much knowledge of what we do, and they poo-poo it. I had a discussion with my doctor here recently about my cholesterol. It has gone up, and I'm happy about it. Our body makes its own cholesterol, and we need some more cholesterol. And one thing I checked for, and Dr. Kevin Stock, I sent him that information about compared to my HDL. He gave me 2 thumbs up on my ratio. I was amazed. And my doctor wanted to put me on some medication for the cholesterol. I'm not touching that. And he was upset when I told him not. And he said, "Why not?" I said, "Well, I'm healthy. I'm fine. I feel the best ever." How can you deny that? Feeling. And I don't want to change anything. And I want to touch that anyway. I know people have taken it and been in pain, etc. from it. So to reduce the cholesterol. Another thing too, I guess, is I also have, like oxalate crystals, dealt with that too. I have been tested for mold toxin and was found to have it, and learned that through this, that 25% of the world's population bodies aren't able to destroy mold toxins in our bodies. 75% of the 3/4 of the population of the world can. And it's quite interesting that a quarter cannot, but that's the way life is. And I'm part of that quarter, 25%. So I'm working now, I have been over a year with a SIRS doctor and all. But it's been a blessing in that regard. I'm on a binder, and it seems to have controlled my issues with my ulcerative colitis. Stopped the bleeding, and et cetera, and other things I had pain from it. My doctor wants me in for about every year or 2, but I've held off a little bit because currently at this time, because I am healthy, and I know it. And I dealt with this. I'm 70 years old. I've been dealing with this since I was 25. So you're looking at, quite a few years here. And I know my body because of this. I've gone through all kinds of treatments for ulcerative colitis, and it never works. It always comes back. I take care of the effect, and the cause is still there. With the binder, it's either put my ulcerative colitis in a holding pattern, or it's actually, I think it's curing. I don't have bleeding. I don't have issues. I can fly. And before flying the last 5, 6, 7 years, I was concerned about it. I take medication for ulcerative colitis prior to going and during the flight, and I was on vacation, and when I returned back, because that usually stopped the issues with ulcerative colitis. If I didn't do that, I'd have ulcerative colitis knocking at my door, and I'd be on medication real quick when I got back home. And so all these things that I've been doing have been very helpful. My SIRS, or mold toxin doctor, is very understanding. She's not truthfully carnivore, but she sees where I'm coming from, and she's working with me on that too. So that's a blessing too. Those type of things have been occurring here in the last 2 years. It's phenomenal. And I have some friends that say, "David, what are you doing teaching students at 70? You just got so many years left." But it's a joy for me to teach, especially what I do. I feel that I'm in. It's a blessing for me. And the children bring me a lot of joy throughout the day, believe it or not, just interaction, and the responses, and just socially mingling with them. My wife says I'm the youngest 70-year-old out there, but in that regard, I enjoy what I do. I don't know how much longer I'll be teaching, because there are things I want to do in life too. And I don't have to teach, but it's something I enjoy a lot. But there's things I'd like to do, and teaching sometimes, the hours I can't get away and do some of the things I like to do. But right now, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with Carnivore. I'm happy with the SIRS, and it's all provided me a healthier lifestyle. I have mobility. I can move around. I work doing things like handstands, headstands, crawling on the floor, little things of that nature to keep my mobility there, and it's paying off big dividends. I do not have pain in the knees. I don't have pain elsewhere, and I can do these things like I could years ago too. So it's a revelation. It's been a blessing.
Yeah, that's an amazing list. And what's interesting for me is, if I got the feeling you were worried you wouldn't be able to remember everything, but I think that was about 15 minutes of absolutely brilliant stuff with so much information coming across. So, David, that was a really good introduction as to why you're eating this way. And of course, I forget that you're 70, by the way. I have forgotten that, even though, we've had some coaching sessions. And I think you get used to people looking younger. That's a problem. Because I see carnivores all the time, I forget to be shocked when people say I'm X age. And I think, wow, they look so young, don't they? Because everybody on carnivore seems to look younger than they actually are. I think
so.
Yeah.
Could I put you on hold for just a second and take care of my little dog?
Yeah, I've got a Royal Carnivore dog, so yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
When you have to go and sort your dog out, I understand that.
Speaking of, we converted. Our dog was having kidney issues over about a year and a half ago, and I remember seeing online you had posted something about you and your wife feeding your dog. You had the dog tray out with meat in it, and I went ahead and convinced my wife to get raw dog food. I can't remember, just food for dogs or something like that. It's raw meat. And anyway, the kidney issue went away. Go figure, that stuff in the bag is not to buy kibbles or whatever.
That's right. I mean, one of the things I find very difficult when I'm out, because dog walkers obviously talk to each other, it's one of those things that I find quite wonderful about how social it is. Many of the owners will say, oh, my dog's got this issue, that issue. And I have to just hold back because people are so precious about their dogs and what they feed them.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy to intervene if it's a human, but I always feel like, well, I can't recommend carnivore for their dog, but I should do really, because our dog, 4 years, never been to the vet, never been ill, doesn't smell like a dog according to people, because he smells like a dog should do. And the dogs that eat the bad food, they smell a different way. Do you need to see your dog again?
Yeah, I need to get him in.
Want some attention now?
What he does when he gets bored, I go out and bark, waiting for an echo or something to come back.
You mentioned Dr. Kevin Stock. Are you working with him at the moment, or is it just somebody that...
I joined him at the time. He's got a program, Meat Health Academy. And I do that for $95 of the lifetime thing. So once a month, he has a meeting, the last Thursday of a month. And he keeps record on there, all his conversations and his purpose. So I follow him a little bit because he also likes using the X3 band system. And he started using it during COVID because the gyms are locked down. And he's wanting to go to the gym because he confesses, that's my social life. I think he's a single guy. And he's an interesting fellow. He has daily little, what's it called, bets or something like that. So I follow that with him. Yeah. But I don't do much with him outside of that. You've been actually my greatest store, to tell you the truth, at SBG. And that's where I found you, through SBG. Just been, thank you an awful lot for that, Stephen, for your knowledge and all that too. It's been helpful. Hey, can I switch something over, talk about diet for a second or not?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay. We talked about using lamb, right? And I've enjoyed that a lot. Then this is what I found out last spring was if I ate meat with less fat, I could eat more meat because of the calories, I guess. And I leaned out, but I was eating maybe too much meat with the fat, extra fat, and I wasn't leaning out. So you understand what I'm trying to say is the leaner meat was more successful. I don't know. Maybe that was just the pattern I used. Maybe I could do lamb with the extra fat and just cut back on the calories to reduce. But then how do I maintain? I might get hungry later. How long can I stay low on the calorie count too?
Well, I think if you're looking at eating to satiety and you want to lose body fat, everyone's very different. So if you want to eat the leaner cuts and you feel that that's working for you, which is what you said, then I would stick to that, David. I mean, it really is a case of trial and error. You tend to eat less because the fat makes you feel full. But if you're building muscle, and one of the things I thought was very interesting about you is you kept your light under a bushel, and you were very understated about the muscles on your arms, for instance. You stood up during one of our sessions and I thought, wow, this guy's really growing muscle. So if if you need the protein because you're working out and you're seeing that muscle growth, then you want to be able to eat enough to keep doing that, because at 70, growing muscle and making your bones stronger is pretty critical. I would never change anything that's working for you. If it's working for you to have the leaner cuts and you feel like you look better and you got enough energy and the muscle is increasing, then do that. But I mean, some people just do better with the fattier lamb. But you know, it is very individual. So I mean, I'm being very cagey there, because when people watch this, I don't want them to think it's a one size fits all, because it isn't. Because there will be people out there that have really thrived on fatty lamb and not on lean beef. So for you, it seems to really work. Well, if the leaner beef is working for you, then stick with it.
But I like the fattier cuts because the flavor is better.
Yeah, but you see, it's all about your lifestyle and what you want out of it. You've got to enjoy what you eat. But it's really, you know, if you're eating fatty lamb every day and you feel it's bad for your body composition, then, you know, only have it 3 times a week or something.
Yeah. I got some love handles kind of thing, you know, and I can shake that too. But I honestly, I gained weight. It was intentional to gain muscle mass. And, anyway, I'm trying to reduce that because I think maybe I ate more than I needed to, type of thing. And I was eating like 3.5 pounds of meat, maybe 4 a day. And I felt kind of stuffed at times. So then I cut back and lost a few pounds, but from that. But it's not the pounds, it's the fat I'm after, basically. So I'm doing fine, sleeping well and all that. So sometimes you cut back, you tend to wake up, you know, more often at night when I'm dieting or something like that. In the past, that's happened with carnivore. Is there anything else you want me to talk about? Or?
Well, I just very quickly wanted to ask you what your friends and family thought when you went carnivore. Did they endorse it, or did they find you?
So they were concerned. We were raised in, my mother's a nurse, etc. So she's in the medical field and all that. But coming from the farm, she changed her views about fat, stay low fat. We went through that trend. And I'm older than, and anyway, back in the 70s, we transitioned. The United States, probably around Europe too, Western Europe, etc., around the world, that margarine was better, low fat milk, and it took a while to get used to low fat. That's like water, and a bunch of other things. So, and then eat more vegetables, and all that, because it's healthier. They had a lot of nutrients in those veggies. Well, it turns out, you know, they're so fibrous that it doesn't stay in our body anyway. It goes out the chute, the back end. And so we don't get much nutrients into our system. But they, over time, have noticed the changes for me. And I'm healthy and I'm strong, and they get sick more often than I. I can share this too with COVID. I never got the vaccine. And my wife did. She's had COVID. My daughter did not. She's had COVID, but not, of course, she's younger, didn't have as strong. And I had never caught it for some reason. I've been around students. I rode in a car with somebody in October this year, and to the airport. Plus, I was at their home, the residence. 2 days later, they have COVID. I was notified. I never got sick. I've been exposed so many times. There was a SARS-1 virus in 2003. Maybe I caught it then. I can't recall. And they said maybe that has something to do through my research that protect us from some people from getting SARS-2, which is the current COVID virus that, you know, that is still going around. So it will continue forever. But since it's a virus, they've come to accept the fact that I am eating carnivore, and they've seen the results with me. They have not transitioned. They won't. My wife's really stuck on the old status quo. Anyway, but I do have a sister that is tried it and has had success with it too. So it's quite interesting. So and then eating out, I should have just broken down to eating some of the foods they had. And that type of thing. Maybe once in a while have a banana, maybe an apple, or a little honey. But that's very rare. I do it because I avoid that because of the oxalate crystals, and I just really am happy with the carnivore style of food. For me anyway, it's benefited me an awful lot. So socially, getting out, eating dinner with friends, I will tend to maybe have a side of their vegetables, things of that nature too. It's cooked, whatever, but I avoid the raw, the spinach, things like that. It's an evolving process, and we find more information about carnivore and how people used to eat and to avoid the processed foods and all that. But I think it's interesting. We have hyper carnivore. We have many other styles of carnivore, keto, etc. And some people thrive on it. Some people, don't as much, and they transition, move around the carnivore from keto to hyper to carnivore. I don't know, but it's just an evolving process. But it's a much healthier way to eat and live, no doubt about it, and so beneficial. And like I said before, I packed on the muscles. I don't have the biggest biceps in the world. I'm kind of a lean person. Just physically, I'm just lean. I've always been that way. But I've packed on muscle, no doubt. Yeah. So
Brilliant.
yes, I just love this. I can't say enough.